Hey everyone, how you doing? This is Amon Green, Green Bay Packers all-time leading rusher, and you're watching Packers Total Access Live, your daily source for Packer content. Go Pack, go!
What's up, guys? Welcome into the PTA Postgame Show. My name is Clayton. You can check us out on Packernet.com. Find me on Twitter at Packers_Access. Joined alongside Jacob in Wisconsin. We got Tim in Green Bay. We'll have Emilio joining us shortly. He got mom and pops in town, man. That's an exciting time. Get a big dub out here for his Green Bay Packers, and also have the family coming in to visit for the early holidays as the Packers get the victory here, 23-6. It's final. Getting the win over the Minnesota Vikings at Lambeau Field. Great environment there today, man. Just hearing it on TV, it seemed like everything kind of fell into place for the Packers. A little bit concerned about Jordan Love. I don't know how you guys feel. I'm worried that he's maybe a little more injured than we realized, seeing how he was handing the ball off with the opposite hand. But how cool is it that the Green Bay Packers can go out there even with the quarterback banged up? And what a huge game there. Absolutely awesome. We're watching the Detroit Lions, New York Giants game too, and Jameis Winston is cutting them up, boys. They've scored – how many points they scored now, Jake? 27? Is that right?
That is correct. They just made an unbelievable pass, about a 40-yard bomb down to Theo Johnson after Winston should have been sacked, and he made some famous Jameis-type maneuvers, and 1st and 10 now in the red zone.
And by the way, if you're looking at the box score for the Giants-Lions game at some point and you see Jameis Winston as a receiving touchdown, that is a true story. So it's just been an absolutely wild affair there. 27-24 with 4 minutes left. We'll bring you guys a little bit of action here as they hand the ball off. About a 3-4 yard gain there. So back to the Packers, 23-6. Jordan Love. To me, it seemed like he wasn't himself today. He dirted a pass down the seam at one point. You seen him hand it off with the opposite hand. And I know people on Twitter are going to do what they do on Twitter, talking about we're not aggressive enough, we're too conservative. The idiotic commentary by Greg Olsen to show him handing off with the opposite hand. I don't know what's going on. There's something weird there. And then turn around and say, they're playing this too conservative. Buddy, if you had two brain cells that rub together, you'd realize that's why they're playing it conservative. And Emmanuel Wilson, Tim, I'm just going to give you the floor. 28 carries, 107 yards, 2 touchdowns. I think I counted at least 4 explosive runs, maybe more than that. Those are runs of 10 yards or more. But what do you think about E. Wilson today, man?
Try to tell you about my boy E. Will. Unbelievable. Actually, I totally believe it. I was waiting for a moment like this. This is what you want to do. Maximize your opportunities when you got to step up. We needed to give Josh a week of rest. This game on Thanksgiving is not going to be any easier. I thought he played damn good football today. And honestly, I thought our O-line, they blocked pretty well. Run blocking looked pretty doggone good to me today. So I'm happy for Emmanuel Wilson, well over the century mark, a couple tuds, just great to see it, man. He deserves it.
Yeah, got to see some Anthony Belton in there today as well, and it looked like he was mauling at one point. That's exciting news there. I want to hit this real quick. Dark Arts Poker in the chat says 40 yards. The Vikings had 4 yards of offense in the second half.
I put the team on my back, dude.
Jeff Halfley was dealing out there. We got Emilio joining us now. Emilio, Devontae Wyatt, 2 sacks. Micah Parsons, 2 sacks, right? Evan Williams with a pick. Can we take a second and talk about Isaiah McDuffie?
Game ball to Zay McDuffie today for sure.
Bro, and obviously the interception, Rashawn Gary getting back there, raking the arm, the ball going right to McDuffie. But McDuffie, man, Emilio, what do you think here? Just initial thoughts, and you can hit on any of that. Man, I'm just kind of scattershotting because this was a fun one to watch. You're muted, brother.
Absolutely muted. Heck of a game from the team. They really were crushing it. I mean, I was just screaming. I hopped back in there. We were chatting it up middle of the game there, Clay. I was a little excited about Micah, man. Ran over the center. You set everybody up, and you saw how selfless it was. He ran over the center, and all he was doing was just sallying after he knew someone else got the sack. You know what I mean? So I love to see it. And I was like, man, McDuffie missed 1 or 2, he maybe overjumped the gap on a couple of those first runs, and then dude just tore it up the rest of the game. I think he was really crushing it. I'm glad he stepped up. and really filled those shoes. Hopper was playing well. Bull, I thought, was playing well. Evan, I feel like our secondary. Wyatt kind of clip key there. I hope he's all right. But besides that, it was one heck of a game.
Yeah, Keyshawn runs into Devontae White on the sideline. He just laid down. He was like, God almighty, what
That's a wall. Yeah, that was a bad idea.
Yeah, and that's why you always see the officials and the coaches telling everybody, get back, right? It's never – I'm always like, shut up, ref, you dirtbag, right? Mm-hmm. And then when your player gets hurt, Tim, I'm over here going, get back. What are we doing, guys? So we got the Giants here. Are they going for it on 4th and goal? Jacob, is that what we're seeing here, sir? Call it.
It looks like they might be. There is a line that seems to be getting attended to, possibly an injury, but it looks as if they are keeping the Giants offense on the field. Looks like a 4th and goal from around the 4 or 5 yard line.
Yeah, so the Giants are leading 27-24. If you guys aren't watching this game, they've got the ball down inside the 5. I don't know how you guys feel about that situation. I can understand taking the 3 and forcing the Lions to score, but also if you don't get it here, if you score, obviously the game's probably close to being over. If you don't get it, they're pinned back deep. Talk to us, Jacob.
They got 10 seconds left on the play clock. 4th and goal from the 6 in a shotgun formation. Jameis Winston takes the snap, drops back. He's potting the ball. He tosses it over. Oh, and it just is out of the hands of Theo Johnson. It's going to be turned over on downs.
Jacob.
Wow. All right, so the Lions are going to get a chance to go, what will it be, 97 yards, something like that, Jacob? Am I thinking right?
94 yards.
Gotcha. So we'll keep an eye on that. We'll continue to talk Packers here, make sure we don't miss anything in the chat that's going on. So a couple notes for me. Let's go around the horn with this. Morgan and Belton rotated at right guard, it sounded like. I thought the running game obviously looked pretty darn good. We kind of bullied the Vikings up front all day long. Once you seen that Jordan wasn't his self, it's like, okay, let's just press into the run. Let's start to, play the game that's in front of us here. So was it? Did Keyshawn Nixon have an interception, guys? Am I thinking right? I have that wrote down. I had that wrote down wrong. Nixon didn't.
I don't believe so.
Evan and McDuffie that had it.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so obviously Nixon had the lead. Oh, it's an injury, is what I got.
Yeah, he only had 13 snaps.
Right. So that I had it written down INJ, and it looked like INT.
Gotcha.
We're from Kentucky. We don't write well. But yeah, so the injury there, that's kind of a note. Obviously, Jordan Love reading the blitz, man. He knows exactly where to go with the football when the other team blitzes. I think where he struggles from time to time is when he's got time to sit back there and overthink it a little bit, right? Mm-hmm. But boy, they would show blitz, they'd fire the blitz, the ball was coming right out to Watson. That throw to Wicks over the middle.
Oh yeah, layered it.
Yeah, beautiful.
Shout out Jacob Morley. That'll be the Jordan Love sicko throw of the week, right? So, and also we'll go around the horn with this. Did you guys see the up tempo? Right?
Oh, come on.
We've been talking about it for the last 2 weeks. Want to see that, right? Here it is. We got it. So let's go around the horn with that information.
Yeah, I was Jacob. I know you were happy about the up tempo, but I mean, that's all you get a play going. All right, let's hurry up to the line. You catch them off guard. Maybe they can't get into their blitz packages. You can kind of catch them on their heels. You get a big explosive play. Let's hurry up. Let's try to get on it. And yeah, you just kind of see the offense was humming a little bit more when they were under tempo. Don't you think, Jacob?
Yeah, I agree. I loved your comment, by the way. We won't share that with the class here today, but I did like the up-tempo offense. I got to tell you, it is unbelievable right now. If you were to walk into any Facebook chat or Twitter, there are people calling for Matt LaFleur's job, saying that calling right now, and I can't even believe it. I posted a couple of things just being like, y'all are just – I'm sorry, but you're stupid. You're just stupid fans if you think that. We're up by 3 scores, and they're like, why are we playing the Colts so conservative? Because we want to run out the clock, dummy. Mm-hmm. That's what we do when you have 3-score lead and you have an injured quarterback that could possibly,
It was just because Greg Olsen said something, Jacob. It's just because Olsen's like, I don't know why he was being so.
You know what?
Blind leading the blind.
Greg Olsen, stick to your rap game because it's just as impressive as your stupid play calling and analysis. You are an absolute joke, and it shows your bias every time you sit there with your dumb face. I'm so done pulling punches on these idiots. It's ridiculous, but yeah,
it's unbelievable. I've seen it too, Jacob. Facebook. I made the mistake of logging on to Facebook, and all of a sudden, all the Packer pages popped up, and it was just Matt LaFleur bashing the entire time. It was unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. And I'll tell you who does believe in Matt LaFleur. Look at him and QB1 right here walking off the field together. right?
Yes, sir.
Telling you, they are lockstep, man. This is Dominique Yates' tweet he put out here. Packers win 23-6, but just wanted to show that. There was, like I said, something up with Love, too. And again, those people that are constantly calling for LaFleur's job. Last week, what was it? It was Rashawn Gary's fault. You guys remember? Like, all right, we're not happy with Rashawn Gary all of a sudden. And by the way, is somebody going to put some damn respect on Rich Bisaccia's name, or are we just not going to mention how the special teams are playing? We just going to
great.
Yeah, make money. Come on, Tim.
Oh, yeah. I was not nervous at all. He actually played the win pretty good on that extra point. I thought he looked damn good today. Back to his old self again. And, yeah, put some props out there for Coach Bisaccia, man, because special teams was, as a unit, played probably their best football of the year today, I think, in this game.
McManus, that one punt where, I mean, he drilled that thing and just the heads-up play to get that fumble back, game changer, especially coming out of the middle eight, having the turnover battle. And we put together I would consider a team win, all aspects. Was it perfect on offense? No, but most games you're not going to get it perfect. We were literally, I would consider if you have 4 yards in the second half, I'd say that's a perfect half by the defense. Literally. I mean, it's insane.
I mean, at one point in the third quarter, the Vikings had negative yards.
Negative 22 yards, Tim.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's a smothering championship level defense right there that you're seeing.
Jerry with the super chat. Thank you so much, Jerry. The most tweeted phrase today will be, quote, "I always loved Emmanuel Wilson." Yeah, you got that right.
Everyone's a fan of Fort Valley State, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. We loved him coming out in the draft, right?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Everybody did.
You play with them on an NCAA, don't you?
Oh, yeah. No, I had to, go into the community, and download it, but it was worth it. It was worth it. They're pretty nice.
I love it, man. Now, listen, he had a hell of a ball game. And this, I always think every time that he has a flashy play, I think back to that preseason where Gary Ellerson was talking about Emmanuel Wilson, like the cut that he made, bounced it out on the Bengals. How many preseason games do you remember the team they were playing in a specific play, right? But Ellerson said after that game, Gary Ellerson, former Packers running back, said, that's not normal. That's special right there, what he just did. And the way he was just shifty in the backfield, he'd get the handoff, just a little sidestep, guys would fly right by him, and he's upfield for 10 yards. It was a hell of a performance for sure. So, but thank you so much for the super chat, Jerry. We appreciate you. So a couple other things here I've got in the notes. Obviously, we mentioned Devontae Wyatt and his 2 sacks. Did you guys see him throw J.J. McCarthy 12 yards?
Gosh, like a rag doll.
Yeah, dude.
Wow. Loved it. So
that looked like Clayton taking out the trash on a Tuesday, right?
That looked like Mandy throwing me on the front porch, reminding me to take out the trash. But Devontae Wyatt with 2 sacks. Matter of fact, I think I got the box score here. I should probably lean on that a touch. So Devontae Wyatt had 2 sacks, 2 tackles for a loss. Isaiah McDuffie had a half sack, had a quarterback hit as well. Micah Parsons, 2 sacks. Warren Brinson with that other half sack.
Let's go.
Pretty cool there. And one that won't show up in the stat column other than just the solo tackle in the 3 tackles he had, Rashawn Gary forcing that interception, which they did count it as a pass defended or deflection, however they say that.
Nice.
And Gary had 2 quarterback hits as well. So pass rush really, really showed up today, guys. And you could see it right off the bat. Let's talk about that for a minute, man. Really, really happy with the pass rush. And there was a couple of times, too. I don't know what J.J. McCarthy was looking at. He stepped up in the pocket, and I'm like, does he not see those big fellas right in his face about to smack him? Now, maybe he's got guts. I don't know. But it looks stupid to me. But I know this, man. They finished on just about every play that they were rushing the quarterback. What do y'all think about the pass rush today?
I mean, to me, it's just right now you see a game where if there was any haters out there saying that Micah Parsons wasn't worth the money, I think that he's just absolutely answering that question very, very aggressively. You saw what also Gary did. Brinson having, like you said, his first half sack. Looking at Devontae Wyatt, I mean, that was just a hair away from being a safety there. I thought the guys just absolutely are showing out. And we talked about it in the pregame show about how, maybe they'll try to actually run at Micah. And they actually did. If you guys remember the first couple series, they were running Jonesy hard. And they were getting some traction in the run game. And then we just kind of tightened up. And after that, it kind of felt like that the defense took control of the game. And that's why I would also argue that some of the fans that are getting upset about, this or that type of play calling or being conservative, I think it's because that you got in the flow of the game and you kind of understood, at least I did, that it felt like the defense was dictating that control and that we felt confident in a defense that, hey, JJ McCarthy may be young and be talented, but he's just not there yet. And we can, if we know how to call a good game, we're going to control the rest of this game. And I think that's obviously what we did. But pass rush, I can't say more about him. I would just argue if I wish I saw a little more out of LVN. He looked like he hadn't played in a long time, which is literally what it was. But hopefully he's going to get a little healed up and then come back in on Thursday and maybe show us a little more.
Yeah, you can see him.
It was good to see him back on the field, even though what did he have? Like 5.
I was going to ask you, Tim, did you notice him
or
limping off or something, Tim? Did you see him limping off?
I didn't see it, but it doesn't surprise me.
I think he did. I think I saw him on the
Who was that?
LVN.
Yeah, I saw him limping.
I don't see him with any stats whatsoever. Do you guys see that?
I have him on 6 snaps on PFF.
Yeah.
Kingsley and Igbari, boys.
Yeah.
Played another damn good game for us today.
Yep.
We keep talking about it. You talk about that pass rush. I mean, we can talk a lot of trash about JJ McCarthy all we want. But at the end of the day, I mean, MVP level quarterback play would have had difficulty dealing with that Green Bay pass rush today. Those guys just did what, we talked about in the pregame about, don't break your contain, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hold your edges, don't break contain, good things will happen. And you saw that, I think McCarthy wiggled out of there maybe once or twice in that whole ball game before being dead to rights, and we didn't have guys, over pursuing, jumping out of their lanes. Everyone played very, within the scheme and within the game plan. And it showed, man, it really did.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think one of the best stats that I saw is highlighted here by Dark Arts Poker. All right, let's go. He says Micah is the only player other than Reggie White to start his career now with 5 straight seasons of 10+ sacks. I mean, this podcast, I've said it. I think Clayton has said it. We were not trying to compare Reggie and Micah because they were just different style of players. But when you start to get into this rare era of these types of stats, I'm going to eat my words humbly and take a big old slice of humble pie. I mean, they are playing at a level which is unbelievable. And you saw they're triple teaming the bruh. You know what I'm saying? They're throwing. I mean, it's insane the amount of attention he's getting, and he's still leading the league in pressure percentage and right up there in sacks. And it's just, he's worth every penny.
Jacob, you only get that kind of triple team attention Friday nights, right? I mean, Micah gets his Sunday afternoons too. Come on now.
To be fair, they all weigh about the same. They're pretty
boy.
hefty.
Boy. Yeah, I mean, Micah really was turning it up, dude. And let me just read this. Number 1 right now, these are all prelims. Isaiah McDuffie with an 87.8. I'm just going to go through the top 10. X would be 2nd. Warren Brinson 3rd. Javon Bullard 4th. Edrin Cooper and Evan Williams tied for 5th. Micah 7th. Kingsley Enagbare 8th. Tyron Hopper 9th. And Rashawn Gary 10th. Rashawn's grade ends at a 63.4, so 87 to a 63.4. I'm happy with the D. Micah also played 40 snaps out of 44.
Wow,
That's
how many snaps did Hopper play, Emilio?
Hopper had 18.
18.
And
okay.
Rashawn had 32. I mean, is that enough for him to not get yelled at? Because actually, Clay, that's like 7 less than earlier this week. So you might actually get yelled at for not snapping enough.
Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. I'll tell you what else is unbelievable. This might be the shot of the day right here. I got to be careful, all right, because of the telecast. So we're going to go quick. Jacob Morley tweeted this out. LMAO, the crowd too, everyone understanding the assignment. You ready for this? Look at the Packers leading the skull chant. Oh, no. Get off the screen real quick. So you love to see that, obviously. Jacob Morley, man, he never.
All right. Good one, fellas.
Just to no, Emilio, stay on.
Get out of here, Emilio. You don't want to
hear it, Jacob.
No, stay on. At 3rd and 10, just was an incomplete pass. 33 seconds left. The Giants are still ahead, 27-24 on the
We
Lions.
got a 4th down.
They're going to have to go on a 4th down. Why don't you stick out? You're good luck, man.
Okay, all right. I'll hang on here. I'm wearing the Tecmo Bowl too, Clay. So Mandy should be happy. We got the dub in it, so maybe the Giants can pull one out here for us.
Listen, Mandy is in Greenville right now shopping. And, we got the Life 360 app, so we know if you need something, where you at, if you broke down, whatever. I popped it on. I'm like, damn, she's been gone forever. Where are they at? It's her and her mom and her sister. They've been in the same store. I'm not kidding you, for 3 hours. 3 hours.
59-yard attempt. It is up. It is just barely good. They just tied it up.
Jacob. I should have left.
Emilio, it's your fault.
Appreciate you, fellas. Good win, Pack, baby. We needed that. Defense is killer. 6 points. I mean,
Hey,
Come on
tell
now.
the Pops we said thank you from my
We'll do. We got a big game for him tonight. We're watching that here this afternoon. So
Tell SA we said go Cowboys tonight.
We'll do. Appreciate you, fellas.
All right, see you, buddy.
See ya.
All right, now that Emilio's out of here, we can talk.
Dang it, Emilio.
I'm still in there. Hold on. All right. So moving along here, I'm going to continue to comb through social media. We talked about McDuffie a little bit already, had the half sack and the interception. Evan Williams with another pick, right? Evan Williams with an interception. You love to see that. So I'm sure his grade will be a pretty good grade going into tomorrow. Man, Victory Monday is going to be awesome. We're going to have so much to dive into. It's not even funny, especially with I was surprised, Tim, how many Viking fans were still talking trash today. Like,
that doesn't surprise me.
Going into this game,
no information fan base. Come on, they're going to talk.
Yep.
Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. Jacob, you're right up there, man. What's the vibe like? Have you left the house? So you probably haven't left the house today, have you?
I haven't, but I'm in a group chat with more than my fair share of Vikings fans. To be fair, the ones that I know, I think they were kind of more realistic about the capabilities of JJ and what he does, but I think they're more surprised that defense, really didn't. Yeah, they had some pressure in certain situations and all that kind of stuff, but it just felt like that even though, if you want to call our play calling, quote unquote, conservative, it just seemed like that we were in control. And it felt like that Brian Flores, as much as he tried to get pressure, it just didn't seem to phase us. You did talk about how they switched out Belton and Morgan, which, I don't quite care for that kind of stuff, but just because I want those guys to get into a groove, and then if you keep swapping them in and out, it just feels like you're asking for trouble. That being said, I thought that the offense, did what they had to do and actually kind of exposed Brian Flores' defense. And then once we got into a position where we could control the game, I think we did kind of coast, but I'm fine with that in a divisional game where we have 4 days until we play our next divisional opponent in a big high stakes type of scenario. So I think people need to think about that as well. Dang, it looks like that Bates is calling that the Bears actually did win. So that is,
Yeah, we'll go around the league here in a minute for sure. And you mentioned short week, right? And Tim, I see you nodding your head. It's like, why try to empty the clip? You've got a 3-score lead. Let's get Jordan out of there. Something's obviously wrong with him and his health. He's a little banged up from that injury last week. And then on top of that, it's looking like this Lions game is going to go to overtime. So they're going to be playing an extra quarter of football before they have to play us on a 4-day week as well, right?
Yeah. And Emmanuel Wilson running his ass off all day. It was working. Why, the fact that they did not bail on that approach is really what makes me proud of this football team, is that Matt didn't get away from it. You can be a greedy fan and want to see, 50-yard bombs to Christian Watson all day long. That's fine until one of them gets tipped for a pick and you've just crapped the bed and given a bad team momentum.
Yep.
No, I'd rather, keep that commanding, dominating performance going. And was it the prettiest? No, I don't know. Unless you really like football, right, Clayton? I thought it was beautiful, right? Hell of a game today. And again, it was good to see our big boys up there on that O-line run blocking finally. Look really good.
And again, I had them as 6-point favorites. I think the line was actually 6.5 or 7, depending on where you were looking to get it at. Yeah. So they more than my God, they doubled that, right? So what else do you want? That's what I have to say for those fans, for all the Facebook fans. And I gotta be real, they're in the Packernet Facebook page. What did you expect? What did you want to happen? Like what I love, and I'm genuinely asking people, what would make you happy today? Would you had to win by 40? Would you have had to win by 50? Would you have been okay with a 1-score game, but Jordan Love needed to throw for 300 yards? Like I'm genuinely, I don't know, man. I don't get it. It pisses me off that we even have to talk about this after a division win where you won 23-6, but again, the only thing I know to do is just stay away from Facebook, man.
It is crazy because I was late. I like to watch the antenna version because it is a little quicker than anything delayed on the other metrics of watching it. But they had a screenshot where they're showing Jordan Love's percentage as a 3rd down quarterback, Jordan Love's percentage against the blitz, the Packers defense in certain situations being either 1st or 4th, and the offense being 8th and 9th. And it's just like, we're sitting here listening to our own fan base complain as if we are looking like the Cincinnati Bengals, or if we're looking like, this year's like Titans or something like that. We are absolutely leading the league in so many metrics that it's unbelievable. I mean, we're sitting here with a coach that's, what is he now, Clayton? 11th overall in winningest percentage. I mean, what are we doing?
We'll try to update it tomorrow, but yeah, he is now probably right around the top 10 in winning percentage all time now. And again, you go into a game here where this is a team that beat you twice last year. Okay, let's call it what it is. You're without your starting center, your starting running back, your first round pick wide receiver, right? Like, look at how many people are. I mean, you lose arguably your number one corner in Keyshawn Nixon in the first quarter.
Yeah.
You're without your number one linebacker, at least your mock linebacker, your green daughter, right? Yeah. In Quay Walker. I mean, it gets to the point where it's just got to be trolling. That's what it's got to be. It can't. You can't make comments like that logical. You just can't. It's the people that want to be, and I'll tell you what it is. And me and Ryan have had discussions about this. He's tweeted about it. I've tweeted about it. We've talked about it. He's talked about it on his podcast. Fans are more interested in having their overly emotional takes at certain parts of the season be correct than the team being successful. They want to be right. Like the ones who dogged Matt LaFleur when they lost 2 games in a row, right? They still want that to be true while hoping their team wins. But at the end of the day, I'm going to find every fault I can with this coaching staff, right, to make them look bad so that I come out like, see, I told you guys this is how it is, right? I think it's more of that. I honestly do. But again, I think we've spent enough time on that. It drives me insane. McManus, was he 3 for 3 today? Tim, am I thinking right, man? 3
yes,
for 3?
He was.
So he looked healthy to me. And there's some pressure coming off the edge, still nothing getting blocked. But the fact that you're staring that pressure in the face and kicking field goals through it, a long of 40. He was 3 for 3 on his field goals. He was 2 for 2 on extra points. Calm wind, no wind at Lambeau Field today. It was calm in terms of wind, right? So he accounted for 11 of those points today. So McMoney is back, as Mitchell's mommy said. Amen. So that's something you're going to need down the stretch here, obviously. Those are the main notes I have. Let's go to the box score, unless you guys got – let's go around the horn once. Is there anything you guys want to talk about specifically before we get into the box score? Anything that's on the forefront of your mind right now?
I just think, to the McManus thing, 3 for 3. Obviously, that's 100%. Didn't go to much school, but I know that that's true. 2 for 2 in extra points. 11 points are from McManus. Great effort. And then you look at the big old stallion from frickin' Ireland, and you got yourself Danny Whelan, 4 punts, 109 net, averaging 47.5, but 3 of them are inside the 20. And obviously the most important one, that fumble that got back, was it at the 6, I believe. That guy is, I think, one of the most underrated punters, if not the most underrated punter in the league. He just consistently comes in week in and week out and puts us in good position to flip the field. And I think more people need to put a little more respect on his name.
Yeah, Lions are getting the ball first here in overtime. It's 27-27. Goff's coming on the field. Obviously, it's going to be a 10-minute quarter here. We'll keep you guys up to date on that. Obviously, we're Giants fans here. Tim, is there anything you want to hit on before we dive into the box score? Does anything kind of stick out to you that maybe we didn't cover up to this point, man?
Yeah, I think we'll look at the numbers, but I thought with Keyshawn going down, I thought Kamal Hadden did a pretty serviceable job.
Great point.
Backing him up today when we needed snaps. I mean, we haven't seen much of him at all this year other than maybe the occasional special team.
Oh, no.
So thought he looked pretty good. So shout out to Kamal Hadden.
Got to be kidding me.
And just like that, it's over.
Oh, God.
Demir Gibbs just housed one, right? And you guys correct me if I'm wrong. The rules are for a touchdown on first possession. It's over, right?
That's over.
It's over, I believe. Yeah, maybe. Or is it? No. Do they get a shot to match it? Is that what it is now?
Yeah, unless it was a score on the kickoff, right?
No,
you're saying it was returned, or is this a play?
No, he just run. Yeah, he just run up.
They got the first possession. They scored.
Oh yeah, if it's a touchdown, I think that's over then, right?
It's a touchdown.
Yeah,
they're not celebrating.
Kick the extra point though.
I don't understand these new rules, bro.
Okay, well then, they do get one chance to possess the ball apparently.
Because remember, they had it like the old way, and then the playoffs was the new rule, and now I think they've brought the playoff rule over to the regular season.
And as soon as we figure it out, it'll change again anyway. So
exactly. I wish they would go with the college look. That's just I love the way the college football does it. Both teams get a shot, and if it lasts for another hour, who cares, man? Who doesn't want extra football, right? As the Dark Arts Poker says, each team gets one chance, no matter because there for a while it was okay. If one team scores a touchdown first, it's over, right? But if they kick a field goal, you get a chance to match it. It's like, can we just stop with this nonsense? Stop. But hey, this is famous Jameis's time to shine right here, man. We'll see how it unfolds. Let's go to the box score and hit it. You guys keep an eye on the chat when we start anything. Actually, let's hit this one real quick because Coach Lynn says Belton flashed big time at guard. I thought so too, Coach. And then I want to say there was a couple tweets that I read where some of the Packers beat was saying that his protection broke down or something. I could be wrong there. Well, I'm excited about looking at the tape. I'm sure you are too. But yeah, I thought it was cool to see Anthony Belton out there, Jacob, at right guard, because he looks like a mauler to me, man.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely kind of lends towards the argument of kind of we want to be kind of more road graders, and that was him when he came out. That was one thing we knew for sure about Belton is he is a physical, aggressive, tough guy that can definitely finish plays. Maybe the thing that we had to maybe worry about was some technique issues with him, and I think that he's kind of started to shore that up a little bit. Usually, I believe he was playing more tackle, but to be honest with you, I liked what I saw of him out of right guard, and at this point, I would much rather have Belton at right guard and maybe have Morgan playing on that left-hand side just because they both seem to be more comfortable. I believe Belton was predominantly a right tackle in college. I could be completely wrong. Chat will let me know if I am. And then I know for a fact that Morgan played almost his entire career in the left-hand side at that left tackle position. So I just, I feel like maybe we're asking guys to do stuff that's just kind of not in their wheelhouse. But for once today, it really felt good to see that offensive line against a good defense actually moving them around pretty awesome.
Yeah, leave it to the negative part of the fan base to find the two plays that, Big Escalade missed a block on or something. When the bulk of the snaps that he played was really good, high-quality football for us today.
Definitely. Chewy says a million people just searched the NFL overtime rules in 19 seconds. So there you go. Got a 2nd and 10 coming up here for the Giants. They're obviously going to go down and try to match with the touchdown. But I'll tell you this, I feel a lot better about the Packers' chances of beating the Lions after the way they played today because they played like cheeks today, man. It was right. Now, don't get me wrong, the Giants played well, too, but they're not going to drop 34 on the Packers defense. So they're going to find themselves in a damn dogfight on Thursday. And again, I feel like we played conservative today in terms of holding people out. You probably could have put Jaden Reed out there. You probably could have put Josh Jacobs out there, right? Hell, we put LVN out there. He started limping a little bit. You get his ass off the field real quick, right? Thinking the Thursday, I'm sure. So I kind of feel like too that Matt LaFleur could tell early on. All right, we are definitely the better team here today. Let's lean on them a little bit and just get this dub here. So let's go to the box score real quick. J.J. McCarthy, the chosen one, right? 12 of 19 for 87 yards, 2 interceptions. He was sacked 5 times for a loss of 35 yards. Jordan Love, you could tell something wasn't right. And again, I don't want to put words in your all's mouth. Did you guys see it the same way with him? Because it just felt like he wasn't comfortable. Like there was, like it might have been that shoulder bothering. And if you guys are wondering what I'm talking about, last week against the Giants, where he lowered his shoulder and took that blow to the shoulder, went in. I guess he had to get some kind of shot in the blue tent and came back out, played a lot better. This game, it looked like it was bothering him. I don't know. I think I noticed it in the second quarters when I first noticed it.
Yeah, and down the stretch too, you really, as we leaned into the run, you could see some of those handoffs looked a little unorthodox, which honestly that makes me nervous. That's when you have a botched exchange or you get a fumble in the backfield. But I thought Jordan protected the ball pretty well considering. But yeah, clearly he's not comfortable handing off with his non-throwing hand, and I don't know if that's due to the shoulder injury that he sustained last week. But bottom line, found a way to run the offense and get it done though. And you got to respect the guy that's going to grit through it and go out there. Yeah, 139 yards, no tutters, whatever. He didn't throw any picks either, and we protected the football and we put points on the board and, we'll take it. 23-6, we'll take it all day.
Yeah, absolutely. Real quick, 4th and 10 is upcoming right now. 19 seconds on the play clock. Famous Jameis is in the shotgun with it looks like a spread formation. He is going to take the snap. He moves up in the pocket, scrambling to the left-hand side. He's calling for, and he's going to run for it and get the first down. There is a flag on the field, though.
Of course there is.
Could be in the secondary, though, so that may look like that they get a little second chance here.
All right. Keep an eye on it.
But
Go ahead, Jacob.
Yeah, sorry, no, just about Jordan Love. I did agree that he maybe looked a little just unlike himself, especially with the handoff stuff like Tim talked about. Also, if you guys remember, it looked like they did a design run though, where he kind of curled out left and then cut inside and then immediately slid when he sensed any sort of pressure, which I would understand, if he has. But I just feel like that it would be odd for them to call a design run if he is dealing with any kind of injury, if that makes sense. So I don't know.
It looked like a read option, and once he got out to the flat and realized the flat was taken away, he just tried to save himself, I guess.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
They did give them the first down, by the way, so they are still in this.
Awesome. Here we go. Jameis under center. Ace nasty set 12 look. Gonna fake it, play fake, back to pass, fading away, throws. What a throw and catch.
Dude, that's Theo. He likes that. Theo Johnson is a guy I was talking about the weeks prior. He's showing to be a decent tight end here.
Yeah, young dude, right? Did he come? Yep. Is he a rookie this year? Am I thinking right, Jake?
I thought he was a second-year player, but I think it was one of those guys that me and Tim kind of late-round draft pick type guy that kind of showed some spurts here and there. But
yeah, I think I got it right here. Theo Johnson was not this past draft, but the one before. Yeah, we had him lit up green, and he was the fourth best tight end in the draft. So there you go. Good stuff. All right, here we go. Jameis under center, little I formation. I'm going to hand it off. Little stretch run to the right. Good blocking on the outside. Going to pick up about 5 yards. So Giants aren't going down without a fight here. Boys, keep them. Take it to the last. Take it to 1 second left in overtime. Wear them down for us for Thursday night, man. Nick McSwain says, Love seemed fine to me. His play style didn't change at all except for handing off. I seen it totally different, Nick. When he dirted that seam pass where it looked like Wicks was kind of sitting open, the way that ball came out and everything, the way it's like he couldn't torque his body the way he wanted to. I'm excited to go look at the tape. I could be wrong there. But to me, he looked like he was off down the seam. But some of those out routes early, he looked like he was spot on. Here we go. Jameis back to pass. Play. Oh, going to hand it off. And they're going to pick up about 4 yards. We're looking at about a 3rd and 2 here for the New York Giants. The Lions lead in overtime 34-27. So the Giants have to go down, score a touchdown, and get an extra point to keep this thing going. Or they can go for 2 and try to go for the win if they do get in the end zone. So number one Packer fan says Jordan Love is playing different for sure. That's what I thought. I'm not saying I'm right and anybody else is wrong. It's just, to me, it looked like he was a little it just didn't look like himself today. And with that being said, he still protected the football, right? 14-21, 139 yards passing, no touchdowns, but no interceptions. He was sacked one time for a loss of 4, and that might have aggravated it too with the sack. But
and isn't that funny that the certain percentage of the fan base that wants to sit here and say you're too conservative when we're up by 3 scores? And maybe Matt LaFleur, I don't know, maybe he knows a little more than we do, sitting on our couch eating our chicken nuggies and all that. I would just argue that if he knows that we're going into a very aggressive and important divisional game in 4 days, that hey, we seem to have this game under control. Maybe I shouldn't put Love in any sort of position where he has to overextend his body, his capabilities, or anything like that. It to me is just mind-boggling that we have to have this conversation.
Explains why Malik came into the game when he did, right? We got there. We got what we needed to do, and you trust QB2 to go out there and do what he did, which was move the ball, get a couple first downs.
Yeah, definitely. Nick in the chat says, "Don't hate on my nuggies." All right, those Dino bots.
Dino nuggies are the best, bro.
Yeah, we know it. All right, here we go. So, unfortunately, they took a delay of game like a bunch of morons here, right? So, that's going to back them up a little bit, I believe. Or maybe they got a timeout for it. 3rd and 2. Yeah, they must have got a timeout. Oh, is this a keeper? Nope. He's going to dump it off. Jameis picks up the first down in the flat here. So, we got a 1st and 10. Tim, Jameis Winston marching on this Detroit Lions defense. I thought they were supposed to be a top 10 defense this year, my sir.
I like it. Maybe that explains why they didn't take the field goal and they decided to go for it down there, because they've had some success. And, we've already handled the Lions once. Granted, it was in the opener. These teams are going to be different going into this game on Thursday. But I'm with you, Clayton. I think the Detroit Lions, at least from that side of the ball, they're as vulnerable as they have been in the last couple of years. So, should have a good chance on Turkey Day to get that dub.
Play action pass out of the gun. Smoke screen just picks up about 2 yards. We're looking at a 2nd and 8 here for the New York Giants as they're trying to score in overtime. 5 minutes and 44 seconds left in that overtime period. I don't know, man. Jameis always looks like he's having fun, but he looks dog-ass tired right now too, boys. He looks like he's breathing heavy, don't he, Jacob?
He does, but, man, he's been playing his butt off. And we talked about it many, many times that he's one of those guys that even though the Giants, as far as their season is concerned, there's not much going on there. But as far as trying to play for their new head coach, their interim head coach, and play for that backup quarterback, if any guy could get him to play, it's a guy like Jameis. They just sailed one a little bit far. It's going to be a 3rd and 7.
Heck, Kentucky's finest, Wan'Dale Robinson, wide open on the
He
corner.
had him open. Oh.
Pax Scooby in the chat says the only complaint I had about LaFleur was killing the clock in those 2 losses rather than being conservative. I agree with that. I felt like we were being too aggressive in some of those situations, and also going for it on 4th down. And I logged on to Twitter, and everybody else was saying the opposite. So, yeah, I'm with you on that, Pax, for sure, man. All right, here we go. 3rd down coming up, 3rd and 7.
What?
Giants in the gun. We got a bunch nasty split to the right. They're going to hand it off on a little draw play, going to pick up about 4 yards, try to make it 4th and manageable here. Looking at about 4th and 5, maybe a 4th and 6, something like that. So, yeah, 4th and 5 coming up here for the Giants. Lions lead 34-27. Is there a Marsh's Wan'Dale? It looked like Wan'Dale Robinson coming back onto the field. That seems to be their number 1 receiver there for the Lions. All right, let's see what happens here.
You want me to call it?
I got you, man. I got you right here. 4th and 5. Jameis at the line. In the gun set, we're going sidecar left, bunch, nasty split to the right again. Work at corner again. It was there just a second ago. A little hard count. Ball snap. Jameis back to throw. Jacob already told you what happened. He is sacked, and that's the ball game. So the Lions escape with a victory there. Aiden Hutchinson gets the sack there at the end. Lions are going to win 34-27. This one's got to hurt the Lions a little bit, though, boys. You go out there and you give up 27 points at home to the New York Giants. Yeah, that's a tough one there. And all those Lions fans that were making fun of the Packers last week for only winning by 7 points, all of a sudden they only won by 7 points at home, and you allowed them to run up and down the field on you all day, too.
Yeah. So. Clayton, could you look at that? I don't know if you can still see the replay, but isn't that the quote-unquote definition of a drop tackle, when you just grab your body and don't have any sort of connection with the ground and just swing him down?
Let me see if I can go back. So he grabs him. That's a hip drop.
You know what I'm saying? Like if
they just called that tackling.
And I hate that. I hate that call. If I could do away with it, I wouldn't. But that's like Doug's saying, hip drop. Yep.
I feel like what they've done is they put emphasis on it last year, and this year they're coming back off of it, right? Which hopefully they continue to do that, because I hate that rule. I hate it. But when you see your guys get called for it, and then the other team doesn't, or a division rival doesn't, makes me want to smack somebody in the mouth. I'm just telling you. So, all right. So we got that in. Let's go to the box score. Let's go rapid fire here. Then we'll go around the league and talk about what the playoff picture looks like currently. All right. So we talked about J.J. McCarthy. Jordan Love, 14-21, 139 yards passing, no touchdowns, no interceptions. He was sacked one time for a loss of 4 yards. So, again, just kind of one of those things with Jordan Love where you wasn't really overly trying to inflate the passing numbers. You realize real quick, okay, we are the better team. Let's just jump out here and get an early lead and hold on to the lead. So Emmanuel Wilson, player of the game on offense, in my opinion, 28 carries, 107 yards, 2 touchdowns, had a long of 12, but he had like 4 or 5 explosive runs, which is really good to see. How about our boy Chris Brooks, 8 carries, 21 yards, protecting the football, had a long of 10, right? Jordan Love, 3 carries, 15 yards with a long of 13. And that's so basically as a team, 42 carries, 146 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns with a long of 13. When you rush for 146, Tim, and the long is 13, you were pretty damn efficient running the football just consistently all day long.
Absolutely. And I also think that Emmanuel Wilson and Chris Brooks also look good in the intermediate passing game too. We saw a couple swing passes, them looking good, keeping the ball running forward. So really proud of our running backs, man. It's awesome. I mean, Josh Jacobs has got to be feeling a lot better now about taking that extra week of rest, right? Knowing that the boys went out there and handled business. There were times in the run game it looked like we didn't miss a beat just because of the way they were playing.
Yeah, for sure. And again, we had the Packers as 6-point favorites in this game, according to the PTA line. I might try to do that every week, just kind of give what we think the line would be between the two teams, or with the matchup, like coming up with the Lions on Thursday night. Receiving wise, Christian Watson leading the way, 7 targets, 5 catches, 49 yards. Dontavion Wicks, 4 targets, 2 catches, 32 yards. I know at least one, maybe 2 of those, maybe both of those were third down. I think both of them did convert for first downs, as he had obviously a long of 18 and only 2 catches for 32 yards, averaging, what would that be, roughly 16 yards a catch. And then you had Romeo Doubs, 3 targets, 2 catches, 23 yards. Emmanuel Wilson caught both targets out of the backfield, one in which they had the T flexed out and he ended up getting the first down, if I remember correctly, or at least a good gain there on first down. So that's good to see him catching the football out of the backfield. John Fitzpatrick, 1 target, 1 catch for 11 yards. Musgrave, 2 targets, only 1 catch for 7 yards, but he had a huge invisible yardage play with the pass interference where he beats the guy on the wheel route down the sideline. That's the stuff that really goes unnoticed in the passing game. Josh Whyle, only 1 target, 1 yard. So
the most difficult 1-yard gain of his entire life. You guys see that play? Holy cow.
Was it like a one-handed grab and then he kind of just...
I mean, yeah, all of that for a yard. God bless him. And then Fitzpatrick, we got to talk about Fitzpatrick. That one reception, that 11 yards, was out of the Tuck Norris school of tight endery. And he ran through an MF'er's face on that play. I don't know if you guys saw that one. Big shout out to John Fitzpatrick playing big boy football out there.
Like it.
IROC says we didn't need 27 to win. LOA, it's so true, right? And that's what's crazy is it's you look at the score and it's like, okay, yeah, you could have won this ball game scoring 14 points, and then you still got fans, even though you scored 23 on them. You got fans that think that's just absolutely insane, that you should have scored more points. But moving on to defense, Isaiah McDuffie leading the way, 6 solo tackles. He was all over the joint, half a sack, also had an interception. Evan Williams, 4 solo tackles, 1 tackle for a loss. He had an interception. Kobe Wooden with 3 solo tackles and a tackle for a loss, which, by the way, did you guys see on the
general?
Did you see it on Michael Parsons' sack? He saluted the general.
Love
How
it.
cool is that, man? That's something I look forward to seeing the rest of the year. Adrian Cooper, 4 tackles, 2 solo. Tyron Hopper, 4 tackles, 2 solo. Devontae Wyatt you're going to have to split 3 different game balls on defense, I believe. But Devontae Wyatt had a damn game, man. 3 tackles, all 3 solo, 2 sacks, 2 tackles for a loss. That dude was all over the place. And he also won the shot put award, throwing J.J. McCarthy what seemed like 12 yards when he sacked him. He just tossed him like a rag doll.
Jacob uses that move when he's got to kick people out of the club, right?
Yes, absolutely. That and the hip drop. So, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
The hip drop's a move you use on the pole. Let's be honest here, man. All right.
Did you not see Bates's comment?
What did Bates say? Oh, no.
Oh, I can't find it now, but it was basically that's what Jacob says he likes the hip drop at the pole. Oh, here we go. No, he said, we know those hip drops are the club, our money makers.
You know it, man.
Scared money don't make money.
All right, the Eagles just took the early lead on the Cowboys, 6-0, pending the extra point there. A.J. Brown finally gets him a touchdown, so hopefully you did start him this week in fantasy. All right, Godsmack AR69 with the super chat. Thank you, buddy. He says, man, I'm getting sick of the Bears, Devils, luck this year, playing an Aaron Rodgers-less Steelers. Hopefully they'll get theirs at Philly next week. That's going to be a different ball game at Philly for sure, man, because there was a couple times there during that Bears game it looked like they were going to lose that ball game to a Mason Rudolph there behind the scenes. And again, when we looked at that game, I kind of felt like the Steelers would be 4-point favorites, but I didn't feel like they ran the ball as much as they should have. And right out of the gate, we talked about if you lose the turnover differential, you're going to lose that game. And I think it was like in the first quarter, we seen them already drop a turnover. So with that being said, the Bears continue to take the ball away and protect the football. Although that Caleb Williams, you guys see him get sacked in the end zone, strip sacked in the end zone for a touchdown for the Steelers. That's vintage Caleb Williams. I counted it. 6 seconds he had the ball. 6 seconds in his hand, standing in his own end zone. It's going to bite him in the ass, I'm telling you, as they play better teams on down the stretch. But thank you for the super chat, guys. Matt, completely agree, man. The luck will run out pretty soon. You got to tip your cap. They're winning the ball games. But at the same time, man, it's going to run out sooner or later. So, all right. Also on defense, let's see here, Micah Parsons, 2 sacks on the day, right? He kind of led the charge. And he kind of created that spark, Jacob. You notice there, when he got his first sack, the defense really came alive. It felt like, man, he is the spark plug. He is the gas that makes that motor go here on defense.
Yeah. I hate to admit, but I wish Amelia was still here because so I could hear some snap counts, because it feels like they're starting to understand that, hey, this guy is capable of playing a larger majority of the snap counts, and he is just a difference maker. And he does. It doesn't matter what he's doing. If he's on the edge, if he's doing that kind of Joker mug look that you've talked about, I mean, he is, which is absolutely insane. Do you see how aggressive he is? He's barreling through centers and guards like they're nothing.
We didn't really see that until towards the end of the game, really in the second half they started, if I'm not mistaken, right? He was pretty much firing from the edge most of the game, and then we started working him into those Joker looks, and it was like you could just see the influence that he had on that Vikings offensive line. They didn't know what to do or how to deal with that.
Yeah. I agree.
One other thing here, I want to hit Biz 1987. Are haters forgetting how many offensive stars we had out this game? I'll take 23. That's
preach.
They don't want to hear anything, Biz. They don't want to hear a damn thing. It doesn't matter what your rebuttal is. Their argument is always going to be, yeah, but, right? Again, a win is a win, and I love it. To me, it's making them, it's shining the light of mediocrity on those fans that are being overly negative, and they're starting to look like a bunch of idiots. Is what's happening. That's slowly happening as time goes on this season, and we get a little later into the end of the league calendar year here. So Warren Brinson, how about that with a half sack? You'd love to see that, right? My man getting on the stat sheet there, and then Kingsley.
That was that one with him and McDuffie, right? They split that one. Yeah,
definitely. And Kingsley Barre with a tackle for a loss, a huge tackle for a loss. That was on that fourth down stop, right? Am I thinking right?
Yep.
So you love to see that. And again, interceptions, McDuffie with one, Evan Williams with one. So the Packers with 2 interceptions. So what it comes down to is the middle eight that was tied 3-3. We won the turnover differential 3-0. You win the turnover differential 3-0. You end up winning the ball game 23-6. You turn around and ran away with it. I feel really good about Savion Williams returning kicks. I'm not expecting him to break one, but he's always going to get you a nice little game there. He averaged 24. His long was 25 today. It just seems like more times than not, Savion Williams, I don't worry about him protecting the football either. He's not going to cough that thing up on kick returns. He seemed very, very aware of that.
Yeah, did you see him double clutch there on that one, going to the sideline? Like he's not getting peanut punched again. It's not happening.
Yeah, definitely. Romeo Dobbs too. Did y'all see him field that punt like this?
I don't know about.
I don't think I've ever seen anybody field a punt like they were catching a pass. That blew my mind, man. I was like, and I wasn't worried about it. When Rome's back there catching punts, I do not worry at all. I'm not expecting a big return, but I'm not worried about him catching. When he reached
That's the answer to the all caps tweets you see. Why is Romeo Dobbs returning punts? Because he's trusted to catch the damn ball. That's why. And we saw that today, right?
Yeah. And he did have a long of 16. That one return was a nice little punt return too.
Yeah. I will say that to both y'all's points, I think that he is probably back there because they trust him just to secure the catch. I don't want him back there. Like I just see him with the Guardian helmet and him. He's a little bit more of delayed where he kind of decides to make his cuts. It's just I don't want to risk somebody of his caliber back there returning kicks, but at the same time, I don't know who else we got to throw back there. So right now, I think he's doing the Lord's work. And same thing, like you said, Clayton, when I saw him, when the hands went up, I went, oh, no. And then he just grabs it, picks it out of the air, and starts moving forward. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so Brandon McManus, we talked about 3 for 3 on field goals with a long of 40, 2 for 2 on the extra points, tallying 11 total points today. And Daniel Whelan, I feel like we just need to stop talking about it. I mean, he's just so freaking money that he never misses. He never misses. 4 punts, 190 yards, 3 punts inside the 20, and a long of 63. This dude, I feel like we may have the best punter in the league. Am I being too generous there, Tim, or do you?
I don't know. I've been saying it for 2 years, so I agree. You're not going to get an argument there. Sign him to a lifetime contract already. Let's go.
Yeah, and then another note here. We'll go ahead and close that out as BRE. Be remarkable, maybe? Maybe. Anyway, in the chat, thank you so much. Says, hadn't held up well, it appears. I agree. And I seen him on a run stop there once, came firing in and made a tackle. I was like, damn, who was that? It was Haddon. So maybe Kamal Haddon or one of these guys that can fill in. I think we're expecting Keyshawn Nixon back fairly soon. They probably didn't bring him back because of the short turnaround, because they said he went off the field. They took him in the blue tent. He had a stinger. They took his shoulder pads off him. And then I think it was like 5-10 minutes later, they said his shoulder pads were back on and he was trying to give it a go. So I think he'll probably be back. Man. Yeah. But that's the same thing that happened to Quay Stinger, right? And he missed this week. Although I think we would agree, if he didn't have that short turnaround coming up, Quay probably would have played, So
I agree.
Yeah. So it's just nice to see Hafley kind of utilizing that depth and you get these backups in and the team really doesn't fall off that much, So it's a testament to his coaching, obviously.
Yeah, I thought Haddon played well. I really do. And you look at we talked about Evan Williams, with the pick and everything and how he looked in the back end of that secondary. I thought Evan Williams played great against the run today.
Oh, yeah.
They were buzzing him down in the box, and he was making plays, man. So fun to watch, 33, man.
Yeah, and just real quick, Haddon, 4 tackles, 1 solo. I thought another guy that maybe a little underrated, Tyron Hopper out there, 4 tackles, 2 solo. I thought that he looked good also in some special teams plays as well.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. You guys would take a quick second, hit that like button for us, hit subscribe, click the bell icon so you're notified when we go live. Especially hit that like button. That lets the YouTube algorithm know that this how many people are watching the live stream here. I know sometimes people forget. I forget all the time when I'm watching live stream. It helps more than just take a quick second, smash that like button. Nick McSwain in the chat says no Reed versus Lions either, huh? I think Reed will be back. That's what I'm expecting. How do you guys feel? Do you think we don't get Jaden Reed back for the Lions game this week, or do y'all think he's good to go? Because I feel like he's on pace to return for Thanksgiving, or else they wouldn't have practiced him the other day. I think they wanted to kind of see, all right, let's get out there and test it a little bit. And I think we'll find out real quick coming up on the next practice here, which they'll probably won't practice tomorrow, I wouldn't imagine, right? Even though it's a short week, and they kind of get these guys rested up for Thursday. It's probably going to be one of those low preparation weeks to try to let everybody heal up a bit. But what do y'all think? You think we'll see Jaden Reed on Thursday against the Lions on Thanksgiving?
I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
That's kind of my vibe right now. Like, because I want to agree with you 100%, but I also know it's the 21-day window, right? So they could hold him out and we get him back for Chicago, which, I'm sure Bird would love that. Come back against the Bears. He's from Chicago. He'd love to beat that team again. But here's another scenario, right? Do we want him back out there too soon and then have a setback that, maybe takes us to a point where he's, not available to us? So I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence, Clay. My gut's telling me he's probably good to go, but I don't know if they're going to put him out there or not.
Got it. Jacob, what do you think? You think Reed will be back Thursday?
I'm kind of with Tim. I'm dipping the toe in, but I'm not fully sure if I want to dive in. It's hard to say that this week felt like almost a trap game, as if we were looking ahead to the next week, being it was a divisional game against one of our most hated opponents. But it just seems like we are trying to kind of put some bubble wrap on a couple of really key players that we just say, all right, if we can get through this week, we can give them just another 4 days to get themselves healthy and really start maybe leaning into that back end of the season, which we talked about it in the pregame show, that I thought they had the strongest strength of schedule going forward. They confirmed that on the announcement multiple times, that yes, the Packers do have the strongest strength of schedule going forward, and we're going to have, I believe, what's like 5 out of our 7 games are division opponents, including this last one. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be rough, and it's going to be black and blue type old school football. So if we have a chance to maybe just get these guys a little more healthy going in, I would take that opportunity. I think I feel a little more comfortable with the wide receiver room than maybe other kind of components. Like, I understand why we would sit Quay, why if we need to maybe sit Keyshawn or something like that. But I want him back. I think that he is an absolute difference maker and could be a reason why people think the offense is quote unquote sputtering, just because we don't have some of the continuity that we have had with a guy like Bird.
Yeah. Chris the Casual in with the super chat. Thank you so much, Chris. He says O-line best game of the year by far, way to grind. I agree. I thought they played really, really well.
Yeah, I like that.
especially leaning into the run a little bit. And I noticed a couple more outside runs with Emmanuel Wilson, right? That's something that remember we talked about that during the week, Tim. It's like, okay, when you really take a step back and look at how you've changed the way you're blocking and your running scheme for Josh Jacobs' style going inside duo, right? And then Emmanuel Wilson was here before we brought in Josh Jacobs, where we were still running a lot of wide zone boot looks. Lo and behold, you get a couple stretch plays out of the gate. And it seemed to really put the defense on their heels to where they can't tee off on the inside run. And they've really got to respect and honor the outside run. And once again, talking about when you face a 34 front and they're going two gap, a lot harder to run between the tackles. Let's try to bounce that thing out a little bit. You've seen Emmanuel Wilson do that a couple times.
Yep. And then you did see him find success up the middle too on occasion as well, because that's what you want, right? A balanced rushing attack. You don't want them to be able to key in on a gap assignment every time and know where you're going. And the fact that he is, that one he had with the spin move was great. He came up, I don't know if that was A or B gap towards the end of the game. And he's stopped dead to right, spins off, and it's 11-yard gain. You know, I don't know how you teach that type of athleticism and ability, man. But it's fun to watch E. Wilson run the ball, man. And a lot like Josh Jacobs, he keeps those feet moving after contact. We always talk about, the best backs doing that. And that's how you turn these, plays that look like you're stopped, and it turns into a positive game because you refuse to, stop your momentum. And Emmanuel Wilson does it as good as I've seen a lot of guys do it in the NFL for sure.
Yeah. Doug in the chat says Hopper had a nice game, went belt to ass on a wing fence tackle too. Hopper looked good. He looked quick too. Did you guys feel like that when he ran the running back down from behind? You could see Hopper was like, okay, this dude, he's kind of got Edgerrin Cooper, Quay Walker speed.
He looked good in some of the coverage looks too. I don't know. Like we have to go back. I haven't watched all 22 yet, obviously, but we'll do preparation on a short week, right, Clay? Do a little film study. But I thought he looked good in some of the coverage looks too, which was great.
What'd you think of Hopper, Jacob?
Yeah, I agree with that completely. I'm trying to watch the whole kind of, like Tim said, you can't watch the all 22. I wish you could. But I'm trying to kind of keep my eye on as many different players as I can. And every time I saw, he's 59, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
It just seemed like that every time I focused on him, Hopper, you'd be like, oh man, that was pretty solid play right there. And I'm just excited that we may have another guy that's an upcoming linebacker in that room. And again, I don't think we can say just more about how McDuffie is kind of being a leader for that group right now. When you don't have Quay, when you have a young guy like Hopper coming in with limited experience, it's just awesome to see him kind of setting the tone. And that whole group just did amazing. I will say one thing. I do miss Eric Wilson. That guy still looks good. He seems like he's playing hell of games now. I wish we would have still kept him, even if it was just for special teams assets. But all in all, I think that our defense is just playing out of their freaking mind right now.
Yeah. Boy, oh boy, the Cowboys almost blocked the punt. They may have gotten called for roughing the kicker. There's nothing worse than seeing a gunner on a punt block team. I think they may have – no, I don't know if they picked it up or not. But anyway, he's saying he tipped it. They're keeping the flag down. But he didn't lay out to block it. He just kind of – what are you doing? You got to sacrifice your body on that, man. So we'll see if they pick up the flag. I don't think they did. Bad call there. So Eagles getting it almost at the 40-yard line after the penalty. So we'll keep an eye on that one as well. Obviously, we want the Cowboys to win that ball game. So the Eagles fall to 8-3, and also for SA over there. So, yeah, completely agree, though, Doug. I thought Hopper had a good game. I'm eager to get into the tape like Tim was talking about. Layers 805 in the chat says, dang, didn't realize Jay Jettis was playing today. Boy, they erased his ass, didn't it? It's funny when you ain't got a quarterback throwing the football, all of a sudden Jay Jettis ain't looking that good. So, I can understand his frustration. I don't know if you guys want to add anything to that or not, but
that's a good point. I was going to bring that up. 4 receptions, targeted 6 times, 48 yards, averaging 12, had a long of 19. I barely remember seeing him, you know what I mean? And that's pretty impressive to shut a guy like him down. Cause even if I was out there throwing him footballs, he's so good that he'd probably snag, a couple of them out of the air and make some plays with them. So I thought our defense did pretty darn well.
I think it's more of an, another way to look at it too would be, the way we talked about how our pass rush was playing. The guys up front. Yep. I mean, really, there was no rhythm whatsoever to that Minnesota offense at all. And upper echelon receivers like a Justin Jefferson, man, if you're not in rhythm offensively, it's really hard to really go out there and do your thing. And I think he had one really nice grab on a completion from JJ early in that game. But that was about it, and it's like, I wonder, is he thinking of better days? Is he wishing he was still catching passes from Kirk Cousins or, Mr. Darnold, or, the frustration was real. You could see it.
Somebody just real quick in the Doug 7451 says, Jay Jettis, did Addison play too? He did. He had 0 catches for 0 yards, averaging 0 yards off of 1 target. I don't know if you guys know, but that's good.
Terrible.
That's
what
pretty
about
good.
Naylor? Did Naylor get anything?
Naylor was 0 for 0, averaging 0 off of 1 target. So,
and how about Hawkinson?
Hawkinson, he was their second best, but he had 4 receptions, 19 yards, averaging 4.8 off of 4 targets. He had a long of 5. Even their guy, Mr. Adam Thielen, I don't know if you guys remember him, 1 target, 0 yards, 0 receptions, averaging 0. So there's a lot of zeros there.
Yeah, a lot of zeros.
Built their ass. BTA.
There it is. Thank you, sir. Ron Sample, been a member for 17 months, says 1 more win in the North than last year already. That's a wild stat. Let's look at it here real quick. So you've already got 1 more win in the NFC North than you did last year. Up next, you got the Lions. That'll be a North game. You've got the Bears. That's a North game, right? Let me drop that down real quick. Thank you, Ron. And you got the Bears again in week 16. That's a North matchup. And then we got the Vikings again last game of the season, right? So you're looking at 4 more opportunities to get wins there. So, yeah, that's a great point, Ron. Yep. Great point. So
we're in the gauntlet, though, right? I mean, look at our next matchups. These are not gimme games, right? You got the Bears, you got the Lions, you got Denver. These next 3 are going to be tough games.
Right. If you got 2 losses that you can afford here, right? We talked about it's going to come down to 3 games, in my opinion. At Detroit on Thanksgiving, at Denver, week 15. Who listen, they've had their hiccups too. And then Baltimore, week 17. Now, I'm not trying to overlook the Bears. You could lose one of those games as well. But those 3 games are the ones it's like, if you can win the games you should win and steal one of those 3, you may look up and have a 12-win season here, right? I could see that happening, but we'll keep our finger on the pulse so we get a little longer in the season here. Deadfish says, can't believe the Giants did not kick the field goal on 4th and goal, which would have put them up by 6. That's what happens when you're out of the playoffs at 2-9. They are 2-10 now. Deadfish, I could not agree more, man. And
playoffs?
Thank you, Coach Moore. I understand the golden rule of if you're inside their 5 or inside their 10, you're pinning them back so far that it's really going to make it hard for them to go down and score. But just take the damn points. How many times are teams going to do this every single Sunday, man? I don't understand it. It's why the Lions have found themselves in this situation now where they're constantly struggling every week. Like, they could not compete against the Eagles because they just constantly refuse to take those field goals. It's absolutely insane. So I'm with you there, Deadfish. Doug says, speaking of teams, how about our man Zane? Dude, Zane, high football IQ play, recognizing that guy coming out to try to block him after he decided he wasn't going to grab it. You grab a hold of that dude and you drive him back into the ball, right? And I love that Greg Olsen slipped up and said Peter on the telecast, and then said what was it he said? Peter, and then he went, or whatever it is they say, and he had another term for it. He caught himself. So if you guys don't know what that means, just ask ChatGPT and say, hey, you know what? Let's have some fun. Let's see if ChatGPT does it here. Y'all want to have some fun here real quick? Let's do it
now. Yeah.
Let's see what he says here. Here we go. This is my guy, right?
May have been the funniest thing Greg Olson's ever said on a analysis.
Right. Don't talk for a minute because he'll pick you up. Here we go. Hey, man, why do players in the NFL or in football in general yell Peter on special teams plays, specifically punt returns?
Yeah, absolutely. So when players yell Peter on special teams, especially on punt returns, it's basically a code word that means fair catch. It lets the teammates know that the returner is going to catch the ball without trying to run it back. It helps avoid any fumbles or risky plays, and it keeps the ball safe for the offense. It's pretty common across the league. Bro,
you got that wrong. Sorry. So when ChatGPT goes wrong. Now, if you do say Peter, they got to treat it like a fair catch, meaning everybody get the hell out of the way, right? Don't block. So he got that part right, but it obviously means don't touch the football. Everybody get away from the football. Treat it like it's a –
yeah.
There you go. That's what it means.
Like a what?
Greg Olsen caught himself earlier. But yeah, high football IQ play by Zane Anderson. That was absolutely all. As soon as the guy stepped up, I literally came up out of my seat and said, drive him into it, like grab him, get inside the frame so you don't get called for a defensive holding on special teams, and steer him into the ball. And that's exactly what he did. Who recovered that? Who ended up recovering that part?
Was it Zane, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, Zane pushed him back into it, and he recovered
the ball. I'm almost positive. Double check that, guys.
I thought so.
Did Zane fall on that ball?
Yeah, he did. Yep.
Great call. Great call bringing that up, man. I'm glad that definitely would have gotten lost in the notes here. Michael with the super chat. Appreciate you, buddy. He says, can we put some respect on 52's name? Love his game today. I counted 3 run stops, and I could be wrong, where he was in on run stops. And then, of course, he had that strip that the ball flew out and McDuffie ends up getting the interception. So I'm with you, Michael. I think you're one of about 6 of us that acknowledge Rashawn Gary's playing good football every week. But it is what it is. But yeah, completely agree with that, man. 52, I thought he played good.
He had 3 tackles, 1 solo, a pass deflection, and 2 quarterback hits, and obviously basically forcing that interception. So absolutely great game from Bane Gary.
On what I think Emilio said, 32 snaps too. So that efficiency percentage obviously increases the less snaps you got there. So he was very effective. Good eye there, Michael. Appreciate the super chat, buddy. Dark Arts Poker says Thanksgiving feast on lion, early December feast on bear. We eating delicacies, gentlemen, served with a fine wine or a fine Wisconsin beer. There ain't nothing better than Wisconsin beer, man. Belt the ass with a Wisconsin beer. Sign me up. Sign me up. All right, let's go around the league real quick. Y'all want to do it? Let's hit it. Do this real quick, get an update. We'll look at the playoff simulator. We'll get the heck out of here. So going around the league, we will do it in no particular order. I'm just going to hit refresh one last time here, and let's do it. So obviously the Bears end up defeating the Steelers 31-28. They improved to 8-3. They're 4-1 at home. The Steelers fall to 6-5. They're 2-3 on the road. If you're wondering what happened there, Aaron Rodgers did not play in this game. He was kind of a game time scratch, I guess you could say. So Mason Rudolph, 24 of 31, 171 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He was sacked twice for a loss of 12 yards. So he played pretty efficiently when you look at that, other than the interception, which obviously is a huge play in that regard. Caleb Williams came out and played pretty damn good today, guys. 19 of 35, not very efficient in that regard, but 239 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. He was only sacked 1 time for a loss of 10. It was when he was sacked in the end zone, and that gave the Pittsburgh Steelers 7 points. So obviously without that defensive touchdown, they would have only scored 21 points. They ran the ball fairly effective. The Bears did 25 carries for 99 yards and a touchdown. DJ Moore was their leading receiver, 5 catches for 64 yards. So again, when you're looking at the turnovers here, it looks like the Bears had an interception and the Pittsburgh Steelers did not. In terms of fumbles, looking for that stat, if we could find it, do not see it. So maybe there were no fumbles. Doesn't look like it. So the Chicago Bears win the turnover differential 1-0 essentially, right? So you're probably going to win that ball game. So yeah. Caterpillar says you called the under on Mason Rudolph's passing yards. Good call, Clayton. Yeah, we hit the under on that, thinking they would try to run the football. So I don't even remember what the under was, but he was definitely under. What was it, like 218 or something like that, Jacob?
It's like 216 and then fluttering with 218. Yep.
There you go. So, all right. So the Bears get the win there. Jacob, are you any more concerned with the Bears running away with the North, or do you kind of feel like this is another fluky win? Because sooner or later, we do have to acknowledge they're winning these close games, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's at this point in the season, you have to acknowledge that their record is their record, and they're playing. I think Caleb is starting to settle into being more of a respectable NFL quarterback, but you still, like to your point when you talked about how the guy still holds the ball, the guy still makes some boneheaded plays, and to be honest, I do think that they would just. I think there's some statistics and metrics out there. Maybe if Bates is in the chat or something like that, they statistically are one of the luckiest teams that has happened in a long time. And there's going to be some negative regression going forward. And although they may enjoy their time at the top of the hill, I think that we're charging up. We're going to rip them, throw them down, push their face in the dirt and pee all over them like bullies do. And I'm cool with that.
Mm-hmm. Tim, you got anything you want to add to this Bears win over the Steelers here, 31-28?
Yes, the Bears still suck.
Thank you.
You heard it from a fan right here. All right, moving along. The Patriots beat the Bengals 26-20. This was a lot closer than people thought, right? So the Patriots improved to 10-2. They're 6-0 on the road. Mike Vrabel's got that franchise humming right now. The Bengals fall to 3-8. They're 2-4 at home. So again, the Patriots get the win 26-20. The game we just talked about, the Giants at the Lions, goes to overtime. The Lions get the overtime victory, 34-27. You can see kind of how it started. The Giants outscored them in the first quarter 10-0. Giants came roaring back, scoring 17 in the second. However, the Giants scored 10 there. So they were leading 20-17 at halftime. Both teams were blanked in the third quarter. And then, of course, the Giants scored 7 points in the fourth quarter. The Lions scored 10, sent it to overtime, and the Lions get that Jahmyr Gibbs is a hell of a running back, boys. There's no denying that.
Good.
Yep.
Look at this right here, though. Somebody come look at this. Jameis Winston, 18 of 36, 366 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception.
Dang.
And also, Jameis Winston had a 33-yard reception for a touchdown that he broke a tackle at like the 8-yard line and went in for the score. So Jameis Winston out there putting up Travis Hunter numbers. I can't say that without laughing. But so 366 yards passed, and you know Jordan Love want to heal up Thursday and go out there and hum that tater around. Jared Goff, 28 of 42, 279 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. He was sacked 3 times for a loss of 22 yards. But Jahmyr Gibbs was just too much to handle today, boys. 15 carries, 219 yards rushing with 2 touchdowns. He went absolutely off today. Let's see. You've got the receiving stats here. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 9 catches, 149 yards and a touchdown with a long of 30. He was targeted 13 times. Jahmyr Gibbs was targeted 12 times, and he had 11 catches for 45 yards and a touchdown.
Jeez.
So total yards for Jahmyr Gibbs, if you had him on your fantasy team this week, wow. What was that, 260 total yards? Am I looking at the numbers right, guys? That's insane. It'd be 264, right?
Yeah. And if you're in a PPR league, that's going to be even more insane because you add another basically 11 points onto that, and that he's going to win you your matchup just on a single performance like that.
So you talk about Tuesday players going into Thursday, Tim. Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jahmyr Gibbs. Got to know where those guys are at all times on Thursday.
Yeah, and we got to be damn good against the run, right? You know, we got to play the run well because Gibbs will light you up, and if that starts happening, then, you know, it's a chain reaction, right? Then they're going to be able to target, you know, St. Brown and, you know, they've got a couple other receivers. What's the rookie? Tesla?
Yep.
Isaac Tesla.
Yeah, today he had a target with no catches, Tim, but I know what you mean, man. He's looked pretty good this year.
Yeah, there's targets. There's targets there. So, yeah, if you can be as stout as you can against, you know, a guy like Jahmyr Gibbs in the run, you know, maybe we can keep him under 200 yards. That would be nice. And see how it goes. But I think it starts there against this Lions team. Because if you take that away, or not take it away, if you keep that as, you know, as well under control as you possibly can, it's going to make it a little harder for Mr. Goff to operate against us. So we'll see what the approach is.
Yeah, definitely. And so update, Mandy is still in that store. That's unbelievable, man. That girl.
Mandy's still in the store.
Either that or she dropped her phone.
And in case you were wondering, Clayton, Gibbs finished with 50 fantasy points, which is almost unheard of.
That's what Bates says here, 55.40 points in PTA fantasy. Man.
Yeah, it depends on your metrics, but most anything over that's just insane.
Whose team is he on in our fantasy league?
I don't know. I don't want to know. I know it wasn't against me this week.
Well, you know it ain't on your team, right?
I know it's not on my team.
All right, so there you go. Defensively, Aiden Hutchinson had that sack there at the end. Jack Campbell, 5 solo tackles. Amik Robinson, 7 solo tackles. Had a hell of a ball game there. Aiden Hutchinson also had 2 tackles for a loss. So Aiden Hutchinson continue to be a stellar defender for sure. In terms of turnover differential, I just want to see how that stat laid out there. They may have tied. Yep, 1-1 in turnover differential. So my guess is that the Lions may have won the middle late. It could have been one of those funky games too, where you win one of those 2 and still lose the ball game. That happens from time to time. So just more times than not, it does. So obviously the Vikings dropped to the Packers here 23-6. We've covered it pretty extensively. The Seahawks improved to 8-3 over the Titans with a 30-24 victory. Man, they didn't run away with that one like people thought they were going to. So they squeaked by. and get the 6-point victory over the worst team in the league there. And then you got the Chiefs beating the Colts. I know 8fam's happy tonight. His Chiefs beat the Colts 23-20. So the Colts fall to 8-3. The Chiefs improve to 6-5. Don't look now. Chiefs going to try to make a run at the playoffs. Color me shocked. All right, and then you got the Ravens beating the Jets 23-10 as well. No surprise there. So let's switch gears now and go to the playoff machine. This is what we've been waiting for here, gents. Let's see the updated playoff look here.
Playoffs?
As we come down the stretch here in Week 12. Let's hit refresh real quick. Bang. So as it sits right now, if the playoffs started today in the AFC, the Patriots will be the number 1 seed. The Broncos will be the 2 seed with the Jacksonville Jaguars and the 7 seed traveling to Denver to play them in the first round. You would have the Indianapolis Colts being the 3 seed hosting the 6 seed Buffalo Bills. The 4 seed Baltimore Ravens would host the 5 seed LA Chargers. That's how the AFC looks. Switching over to the NFC. Now, keep in mind, there's some games going on right now. I think the Eagles are up 14-0 on the Cowboys. Sorry, SA. So the Eagles are the number 1 seed at 8-2. They would get the first round bye. The Rams are the 2 seed. They would host the San Francisco 49ers, who are the 7 seed, although 49ers have to play tonight, or actually Monday Night Football. It was funny watching ESPN trying to hype that game up too, like anybody wants to watch the Niners and the Panthers play. But again, the Rams are the 2 seed. They would be hosting the 7 seed Niners. The Bears are the 3 seed. They would be hosting us, the 6 seed Green Bay Packers, and we're just a half a game behind them right now. And then you got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are the 4 seed. They will be hosting the Seattle Seahawks. So you got some games that are taking place right now. Obviously, the Eagles and the Cowboys. So if the Eagles win, we know what happens there. They stay the number 1 seed. If the Eagles were to allow the Cowboys to come back and win this game, the Rams would jump to the number 1 seed. The Eagles would fall to the 2 seed. All right, with how that sits. So let's clear that back off. And then, of course, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the LA Rams tonight. That should be a hell of a ball game. Let's say the Bucs win. If they do, then the Bears jump all the way to the number 2 seed. That's how close we are to being the number 2 seed. We're a half a game out of being the number 2 seed right now. That's how close the NFC is at the moment. So that's if the Bucs win, and there would be the 4 seed. If the Rams win, however, they jump to the number 1 seed unless the Eagles beat the Cowboys, and then it would stay the same. But they've got a chance to climb up the ranks tonight, and the Bucs would still be the number 4 seed in that dreaded NFC South division. That is your walk around the league, your early look at the playoffs. Anything else you guys want to hit there before we get ready to wrap this big bear up?
I just think it's a good point by Dark Arts Poker's comment. Said, is it just me, or is the league actually wide open this year? It feels, in my opinion, you guys tell me if I'm wrong, that it does feel like that this is one of those years where any person that gets into the playoffs on both sides of the, whether it be AFC, NFC, it just seems like on any given Sunday, these teams come to play and can be absolutely lethal.
Yeah, definitely. Tim, you got anything else you want to add, man? I agree with what Dark Arts says here, man. Is it just me or the league actually wide open this year? I think most of the time it's wide open. This year it seems closer than it's ever been.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely some big changes, obviously, on the AFC side, especially, right? We're seeing
Indy.
Indy, Denver, few new faces there. New England playing like the reincarnation of Tom Brady as their quarterback or something right now. And so, yeah, it's certainly shaping up to be interesting as we start to kind of, get a view of what the playoff picture is starting to shape up as. Obviously, there's a lot of ball left. But it does feel like regardless of where you're going to end up seated, if you get in the dance, I feel like any of these teams can be competitive down the stretch. So it is kind of wide open in that sense, right? It's the beautiful thing about our game, right? Once the playoffs start, it's win or go home, man. Love it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Jacob, you got anything else before we wrap up, man? Anything at all? Any other Mark chats in? I think we're caught up, right? Got all the super chats in? Yeah, we're good there.
We should be caught up. Good game, great win. Wish that we could all just as a fan base just enjoy it. It seems like that for whatever reason a certain portion won't, but we always stay glass half full. I'm very happy with this win. I think it was a very quality win, especially some of the things and some of the people we had to maybe, like I said, put in bubble wrap and just be a little more cognizant of the way that we're going forward, knowing that we're going to play another really pivotal game going into Thanksgiving. I don't know about you guys, but there is nothing more exciting to me. I think it may be my favorite day of the year on a Thanksgiving day. It usually means that I get to deer hunt in the morning, get to my grandpa's house around noon, start watching football. We get the feast, we get the family, we get the friends, and usually it means the Packers will win. And I think that this year is going to be no different. I don't know about you, Tim, but I'm feeling pretty good about Thursday.
Me too. And I feel like, we can't overlook Detroit, and I don't think anyone is, but I don't think anyone here is scared of Detroit anymore at all. I'm definitely feeling good about our chances going into this game, especially considering the personnel that we may or may not get back for this one, including two valuable weapons in, Josh Jacobs and Jaden Reed possibly being back in the fold, gives us really good chances. So I'm looking forward to Thursday too. Short week though, it's going to be tough. It's going to be a lot of do it on your own, right? Make sure you're watching film. Make sure you're doing what you got to do to rehab and get ready, because before you know it, it's going to be walkthrough and we're on a plane going to the Motor City. So go Pack, go baby! Turkey Day victory. Let's get it.
Absolutely. United Bates with the traditional super chat, $23.06. Obviously tweeting that, or super chat. I said retweeting. I said quote tweeting. I was looking at the tweet off to the side. So Bates super chatting the score 23-6 as the Packers get the victory here over the Minnesota Vikings. One last thing before we get out of here. Thank you so much, Bates. You're always too generous, buddy. We appreciate you. So this is one of the recibos we had. Vikings report tweeted out, we're going to beat Green Bay by 2 scores and really confuse the fan base, aren't we? So I just quote tweeted it. Says still confused?
Nope.
So there will be recibos aplenty tomorrow morning. We'll be going live for PTA Victory Monday. We'll see what time that happens, but it's nice getting this early game in, man. It's still daylight outside. We're good to go. So we will see y'all for Victory Monday tomorrow. I'll go ahead and start diving into the tape as soon as it's available. And it'll be just an extension of the celebration tomorrow, the victory over the Minnesota Vikings. Shout out to all the super chats. Miss Jerry, Godsmack, Chris the Casual Win, Ron Sample being a member for 7 months, and our buddy Michael Diesel Train with the super chat. And of course, United Bates always coming through in the clutch with the big dono there too. So we're out of here, guys. Everybody enjoy this afternoon slate of games here. Let's go root for the Cowboys, as weird as that sounds, right? And then, of course, we'll sit back and watch that Rams game this evening. Everybody have a wonderful evening. The Packers get the win 23-6. We'll see y'all tomorrow morning.
Peter.
Victory Monday. His uncle's name's Peter. That's why he's saying it. Bye.
Here we go.
Bye, guys.